What's up, my friends? Welcome to day 5, the MYT, Men's Yoga Tribe and Men's Yoga Transformation Reset Challenge, where we are restoring length to the tissues, the muscles in your body so that you can enjoy improved flexibility, mobility, and ease in your life. We're holding all these postures for 3 to 5 minutes, and I'm urging you to practice them more than once each day and really sticking with the ones that are the most impactful for you, even if that's just on one side of your body. Today we're going to explore Child's Pose and the Pigeon, which we've been getting ready for the last 4 days. We're going to connect to our breath, find depth and groundedness in our shoulders, and really see what's going on in our hips. So I invite you to start from a little kneeling position. You can take your knees a little bit away from each other. Big toes will be touching back behind you. Taking a big in-breath. And as you exhale, starting to lay down over your thighs, creeping your fingertips out in front of you. While we're here, taking another big in-breath. And as you exhale, make that little cat vomit sound, the metal singer sound, the ha, to help you zip your front ribs in. And I find that I can really feel the difference in Child's Pose when I zip in like that. From here, gently stretch the mat apart between your knees. Feel how your hips are like, oh, hey, we're working now. And creeping your fingertips out overhead, getting traction through your arms. That brings length into your shoulders, making sure that the head of your arm bone isn't impacted deep into your meaty shoulder joint. And then grounding through the balls of your fingers, that's your under knuckles. As you gently dome your arms like you could lift just your elbows towards the sky, you'll feel depth then. We're lifting your arm bone into the back of your shoulder joint. And you might find a little bit more length when you do that. That is on purpose. That is normal. And then imagining that somebody's pressing your elbows together, or there's a rubber band around your elbows squeezing them together, and you're gently going to press out. Stretch that rubber band. You'll feel the space underneath your underarms coming online. This is our ideal shoulder setup. Whenever we're doing anything, it's a meat joint. It takes muscles to hold it in place. And as you stretch out into that rubber band, it's like you could feel your shoulder blades sliding away from each other, like they're sliding onto the sides of your rib cage. Now come into your breath. Feeling your belly expand. Feeling it relax. Staying with your natural breath. Just noticing the discomfort from that activation in the arms that's creating alignment through your shoulders and really even through your spine. And starting to feel the back of your rib cage expanding like it could expand upwards to touch the sky, like a hot air balloon rising up. This may be the first time that you've tried Child's Pose, or maybe the first time you've done an active Child's Pose. When I was in yoga teacher training, I was like, what? You mean it's work? And Agnieszka, my teacher, reminded me there's no relaxing in yoga, only effort. Staying active, gently active. It's like the smallest contraction that we can make to create that alignment. It's not like we're firing everything. Notice if you're getting longer through your spine, through your shoulders. And when you're ready, walking your hands back towards your knees and then coming back up to that kneeling position. Taking a few breaths here. Just noticing the after effect of the posture. Without moving, if we shake it out, we will very likely lose the benefits of the shape. Now what we're going to do is a little spinal breathing, just 3 little breaths. As we inhale, arching your back, opening your heart up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, rounding over, you can slide your hands down towards your knees, stretching into your back, tucking your chin down, trying to zip your belly button in. Turtle posture. Inhaling, opening, a little spinal breathing. Exhaling around, turtle. Went too turtley for the turtle club. One more time. And then moving into one of my all-time favorites, one of the most iconic yoga stretches that you see, the pigeon pose, and also one of the postures that's most likely to be done incorrectly, which isn't safe. I'm all about safety here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come to hands and knees, nice tabletop, and you're gonna come to a long tabletop, which means you're gonna take your hands one handprint forward, or step your knees 1 foot length back. And once you've done that, stepping your left foot back into a little single leg plank here. Left knee is lifted, stretching back into your left heel. And then sweeping your right knee towards the outside of your right wrist and sweeping your right ankle towards your left wrist without using your hands to grab it. That's called stealing in yoga. We're not stealing. I go into that warrior code in men's yoga transformation. Setting your left knee down, point your left toes straight back. And press into the top of your left foot, evenly from big toe to pinky toe. You might notice your heel collapsing in or out. We're trying to get it right over the center of your ankle joint. And then from here, pressing down into the top of that foot and pressing down into your right shin as well. Feeling the strength of your legs, how it's really lifting you up, and noticing if you can keep both hips parallel to the floor. And if you can also prevent yourself from sagging into one hip or the other. You see a lot of this in yoga classes. This is our full pigeon here. Try to stretch your chest open. Imagine that same rubber band around your elbows, press out into it. There's space underneath your underarms. It's like you're sliding your rib cage or your shoulder blades to the side of your rib cage. And as you sit here, as you breathe, still trying to zip your rib cage in, maybe, you can slide back a little bit. And remember, just because this is what it looks like for me doesn't mean it's going to look anything like this for you. You may have your heel way back here. That's also okay. Without torquing it with your hand, we're just trying to find the greatest hip rotation that you have today. Taking only when your body's inviting you to. And if you're like, hey, this feels terrible in my body, go back to the reclined pigeon from day one. Coming back to your natural heart breath. Noticing where you're holding on to tension, unintentional tension in your body. Probably your neck and shoulders. See if you can let that go. You can soften into it, surrendering into it. That's where our reset comes from. Most of our challenges come from trying to control things in our lives, things in our bodies. Our work is to see if we can relinquish that control. Your chest, your shoulders, your hips. Noticing the emotions coming up. I know that they're there. Energy in motion, feelings is what we might call them as well. Urging you to move, to escape, to wiggle. And now only when you're ready, dig your left toes under, lift your left knee up, sweep your right knee back, and coming back to your tabletop. Pause here, don't move. This is practice for real life when you're experiencing stress, to just watch it for a moment before you respond. Now, if you feel inspired to take any movement, even if it doesn't make sense, take it. Maybe it's some side-to-side hip shifts, some fire hydrant circles with your right hip. Maybe something else. Maybe it's a nice little cat and cow. Doesn't even matter. You're taking what your body's asking for. And when you're ready, I invite you to take the same thing on the other side. We're taking our long tabletop, stepping your right foot back into a single leg plank, stretching back into your heel, right knee lifted. Sweeping your left knee through to the outside of your left wrist, sweeping your left ankle towards your right wrist. Don't use your hands to torque yourself there. Don't steal from yourself. Notice how this hip is totally different than the other side. That's okay. It means it needs more work. Pressing into the top of your right foot, big toe to pinky toe, checking that heel. Is it centered or is it collapsing inwards or outwards? As soon as you press down, you're gonna feel all that work here. As soon as you center that heel, you're gonna feel more. Pressing down through your left shin. Notice how the hips are strong, really holding you upright. Long through your torso, you're using your breath to keep your rib cage lifted. Ribs zipped in, chest open, stretch the rubber band on your elbows. And when and if your body invites you deeper, take it. No sagging. You see a lot of people doing that stuff on one hip or the other, but not here. You are cultivating alignment in your body, also in your mind, your emotions, through intentional activation. Through staying with your natural breath, you're cultivating effortless effort, the ability to work without really making it feel like work. Relaxed resilience, the ability to bring yourself back to center amidst pressure without any emotional reaction to it. Just from doing yoga. How crazy is that? Noticing what you're feeling here. Sensations, how they step down into emotion. How the emotion unlocks particular thoughts, particular words, and desires to act. Ooh, notice how your body relaxes in layers. And to all of that, you get to say two magic words. How interesting. Breathing. When you're ready, planting your hands, digging your right toes under. Inhale, right knee lifts. And sweep your left leg back to meet the right in that tabletop. Withholding any reactions, just pause here. Notice the after effect. And then I invite you to take any movement that you feel inspired to take. Maybe it's some side-to-side hip shifts. Maybe it's some fire hydrant circles on that left side. Maybe it's some little cat and cows. Once you feel ready, coming back to that kneeling position we started in, noticing if it feels any different, and closing out today's practice. Bringing this feeling with you, this freedom, this ease, this openness into the rest of the day today. This ability to stay with your breath and respond rather than reacting to stress. My challenge for you as always is to practice this again for 3 to 5 minutes. The longer you practice it, the more sustainable change you're going to have in your tissues. If there's one side that's tighter than the other, that's the one I want you to go all in on, especially before you go to bed, because that remodeling when you sleep is going to lead to greater flexibility and mobility on that side later, which means better stability and strength after that. So thanks for being here. Drop it in the comments. Let me know how this felt, what felt good, and if you had any challenges with it, if you need help, that way I can better help you, and also how you plan to implement these going forward. And I will see you right back here for day 6. Bye.